The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon. Highlight the Book of David. And Heidi Tam Music, with her latest on HeidiTamMusic.com.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring out there, Mia Mosinzia Missing, also brought by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future, the Sweet Psalms by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, available on Amazon, and also Heidi Tam Music. Check out our latest at HeidiTamMusic.com. We have a terrific gentleman who is accomplished singer, songwriter, born and raised in Montana, began his career at a young age, influenced by a number of country legends. He toured extensively in the U.S., Europe, like in Germany, Switzerland, Norway, over 1,500 followers on Spotify, 1,400 on YouTube, and also 1,000 on other platforms. He's talked about being made in Montana, waltzacrossmontana, Whiskey Salesman, Cowboys of the Sky, and he's got a new release called Secondhandheart, and most recently, having a cowboy's life. And he's had an amazing career as well, too, and talk about one of the cities that I'm currently in as well. We'll find out live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere in the United States, just traveling around. Could be Montana, could be Bismarck, North Dakota, could be somewhere in the Dakotas and everything. The multi-talented, accomplished singer, songwriter, and born and raised in Montana with a cowboy's life and a second-hand heart. Ladies and gentlemen, multi-talented Doug Adkins. Doug, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, yay, I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Doug. So you're an accomplished singer-songwriter, born and raised in Montana. You began a career at a young age, influenced by a number of country legends. You toured extensively in the U.S. and Europe, including Germany, Switzerland, and Norway. You have over 1,500 followers on Spotify, 1,400 on YouTube, and also 1,000 on other platforms. And you had some amazing experience with waltzacrossmontana, Whiskey Salesman, Made in Montana, Cowboys of the Sky, and we'll be talking about a cowboy's life. And coming up, you got some new material, including a secondhand heart. We'll talk about how you got there. And before getting all that, Doug, tell us how you first got started.
Well, how it first got started. Clear back in time. Way back in time. Time machine, Sherman. Time machine. Time machine. I had a scholarship to go to the International Music Camp, which is on the border between Germany and Canada. Between North Dakota and Canada. Mm-hmm. And that was for trombone when I was in high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, in Sydney, Montana. And so I went there, and it was for jazz and blues. And every night, coming home after 4 hours, 6 hours of rehearsal, I'm carrying this heavy trombone home. And I always see this guy sitting around a fire with long hair and a guitar, and he's playing songs, and young, beautiful girls are sitting around him looking at him. And I'm carrying this stupid thing, right? And I went home and I told my mom, I need a guitar, Mom. And that's how it started.
Oh my gosh. It's like I thought the trombone, you don't just reel him in like that, but
yeah. And all the girls around the campfire were just looking up to him like, oh, and I'm like, what am I doing carrying this stupid thing when I can have that? So the trombone kind of went away. I did not take the scholarship from Dickinson State University that they offered me for trombone. And instead I went along my way and grew my hair long when I used to be able to grow it long. And away we went.
How do you like that? And of course, what was that other precise moment simply influence you? What you doing for the rest of your career besides, seeing the guy playing guitar, having all those girls? What was that other precise moment that simply just said, "Yep, this is it, all right"?
Yeah. That's exactly how it happened. People maybe think that there's a lot of more intellectualism that went on with me, but there really wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And who's some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
Some of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my favorite of all time was Neil Diamond.
Okay.
I just thought his phrasing and his timing and what he wrote about. What I liked about Neil Diamond was he always wrote the complete song. He didn't write to the 3-minute mark like radio wants. He writes the whole story of the song. And so yeah, so I love that about him. He didn't just always write for commercial radio to get it done at the 3-minute mark or the 3:10 mark. He actually
Or even
completed the
less
whole
than that at
story.
times.
Say again, please.
Or even less than that, like, 250, 240, 230, or even like 2 minutes.
Yeah, if the story's done, the story's done. But he always wrote the story. Sometimes he would even go to 440 or 430,
Mm-hmm.
50. That didn't matter. But he completed the story all the time. But mostly, more importantly than that, it was just the timing and the phrasing and his voice. I love that. And then I also grew up on, I was a huge Bob Seger fan.
Nice.
Huge Bob Seger fan. I loved the way he sang and the way he wrote. And yeah, quite a few more, but those are a couple of stars. Of course, growing up in the Midwest in little towns like you mentioned earlier before we got on air, my father was a basketball coach in Culbertson, Montana.
Oh,
And you
really?
mentioned
Okay.
that. And he was a superintendent of schools in Freud, Montana. And he was a superintendent of schools in Sydney, Montana.
How do you like that?
So, yeah, so growing up, we used to go out and do a lot of fishing and hunting. And, when dad's in the truck, it's AM. Of course, we had FM and AM, and AM was always country music and the Minnesota Twins.
What a perfect combination. Country and the Twins. I love that one. Makes a great country song right there.
Yeah. Geez, now I got to think about it.
Country and the Twins. I like that one. But you also got some other great music. You got Waltz Across Montana, Whiskey Salesman, Made in Montana, Cowboys in the Sky, and your other amazing work with Doug Adkins. We'll talk about that. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, International Warring Author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evan and George Bach, with celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forge Riley, and Minos. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also coming up on Amazon.com, Mia Molson-Zia's latest Missing 2, double the fun, double suspense. Check it out, coming up on Amazon.com. Also, Mike Wagner shows brought to you by Elliptical, the think tank of the future, brings scientists and innovators, engineers from all over the world, creating a method to construct a renewable generator. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system, generating more energy internally that needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes, power grids, phones, and laptops. This power source is renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. Visit facebook.com/Elliptical. That's ELLUMENIPTICAL.com today. Also, Mike Wagner shows brought to you by Sweet Psalms by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 paintings in King David Psalms. The Sweet Shepherd gives us a sweet psalmist gives us a new perspective. David through the Psalms he wrote, and this time as a shepherd where it started, and his turbulent yet complicated relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by High 10 Music, featuring the smash hit Baby Come Back and some new music coming out. Listen for details at high10music.com. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device at mikewagnershow.com. 40 podcast platforms. Heard 100 countries. Take us with you wherever you go. For great gift ideas, go to amazon.com. Check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to amazon.com. Check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And if you want more information or to get to order these wonderful gifts, just email me to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com. Also, check out the Mia Molson Zia store on Amazon for great books and more. Also, support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. With the accomplished singer, songwriter, born and raised in Montana, Doug Adkins here on the Mike Wagner Show. And you listed some of the greats as well, too, and some of the locals you talked about as well, too. You also got some wonderful music as well, like Waltzacrossmontana, Whiskey Salesman, Made in Montana, and Cowboys of the Sky. And tell us more about those.
Oh, well, I just write I write songs about my life.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up in Montana, there's a lot of visual stimulation. And you can never forget sitting out in a hunting ducks and having, sometimes you get lucky and you got 1,000 ducks fly in on you and you don't have enough shells and or you're out fishing, and the fish are biting so much that you run out of worms or you run out of bait. And some of that growing up in that that Midwest, Northeast Montana, it influenced my songs a lot. And I have a lot of songs about about growing up in Montana, Montana skies, small Montana town, waltzacrossmontana. And I just think that I'm very proud and honored to have grown up in the Midwest, in that part of Montana, and certainly since my parents moved to Bismarck, North Dakota, actually Turtle Lake, a little bit north of there.
Oh, yeah. Something, I was going to get to that. You wrote a song about Bismarck.
Yeah, I wrote a song about Bismarck, and it's about a songwriter that flies into Bismarck, and the first two lines are, it was colder than heck or colder than hell when I landed in Bismarck, North Dakota, and I started walking because no one picked me up from the plane. And the songwriter spends the whole winter in Bismarck, North Dakota, and eats breakfast at the little cottage cafe, where the waitress there, she's the one that picked him up, and she looks over his shoulder every morning as he's writing songs, and he's drinking coffee, and he's writing songs, if you can picture that in your mind. And she changes a word every now and then. And they had this relationship for one winter in Bismarck, North Dakota, and then he went back out on tour.
Oh my goodness, that is something. I don't think anybody really writes a song about Bismarck unless they have to. I mean, that is one song that I know that is specifically talking about Bismarck.
Yeah, I think that you kind of had to be there. I was writing this song, and I was flying in on the airplane into Bismarck to go visit my parents, and a couple guys in the back, they were talking, and they had a couple beers on the flight, and one guy said, "Oh, I hear it's colder than hell in Bismarck, North Dakota," and I laughed to myself, and I thought, well, that's a pretty good line. And then his buddy said, "Oh, I sure hope the wife picks me up. I don't want to have to walk." And I almost got up. I almost stood up in that moment and turned around. I almost said, "Thank you, guys. You gave me the first two lines of my song." And so I owe those two gentlemen. I don't know who they were, but I'm very thankful.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Bismarck thanks you as well, too, for putting the song on the map and everything else. And you also got A Cowboy's Life as well, too. And tell us much about more recent.
Yeah, well, The Cowboy's Life was a wonderful project. One of the songs I really like on Cowboy's Life, I recorded the first cover song of my life. I've only recorded one, and that was Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a
Ed Bruce
classic.
wrote that song. Yeah, I did it a little bit upbeat, a little bit different, faster. And I get a kick out of it because I'm such a big Ed Bruce fan, and he and his wife Patsy Bruce from Texas wrote that song. And then,
Mhm.
of course, Willie Nelson came along and made it a hit. But so I tried to do it in the style that Ed Bruce wanted it, and it's also on that album, along with a bunch of other stuff that I don't know. I hope people get a chance to listen to it.
Mhm. And I'm sure they do. And he also toured extensively, not just in the U.S., but he also were in Europe as well, too, and most notably Germany, Switzerland, and Norway.
Yeah, Germany, Switzerland, Norway, Austria, England, Spain. Last week we did a cruise from Basel all the way to Amsterdam and back down to Basel, Switzerland, and on a river and
Mhm.
on the Rhine River. And so we get to see a lot of things, and I'm very thankful for the life that I have because I get to see things and have other people pay my hotel room.
That is a good idea. Is a you tour, somebody pays for your hotel room, and I'm sure GoFundMe or was it crowdfund was not existent back then.
Yeah. Well, so one of the wonderful things about when I get to Europe and get to perform there is that they do take really good care of you. You have food and you have a hotel room and they pay your fuel and then they even give you money to sing songs. And I'm like, this is a gold mine.
Really? I did not know that. They gave you money to sing songs. Sometimes it's the other way around, but it sounds like they're pretty generous.
Yeah, on top of everything, they actually give you money to sing songs. And so I thought, what the heck? That's a good deal for me.
How much did you get paid? Mind if I ask?
Oh, well, I get paid as much as I can get from them.
Mm, there you go. I'm sure you wouldn't tell that or get impressions and everything. And of course you toured Germany, Switzerland, Norway, Austria as well too. What was your one favorite country and why?
Um,
Which one was
hmm.
your favorite?
Yeah, there's so many. You know, what's nice about touring in Europe is when you're in Norway, you get the Norwegian culture, where, for
Mhm.
example, one of the little cute things about Norway is we have soup and sandwich
Oh,
in all
nice.
across North Dakota and Montana in little restaurants. And when you're in Norway, you see signs for soup and sandwich. So that's wonderful. You know, when you're in Germany, you see little colloquialisms and things that are also in North Dakota and Montana and because there's so many Germans went to that region to from Germany to North Dakota, Montana. And so traveling around Europe, you see so many little things. It's hard to pick a country. I probably would say it's in between Norway, Denmark, Switzerland, or Germany. I don't know,
Hmm.
somewhere in there.
Right, yeah, and of course it makes me think of Fleischkekle or lutefisk. You know, I think about that being up in North Dakota. That's like the two main ones, Fleischkekle and lutefisk.
Lutefisk, I don't know. Do we have time for a joke?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about you, not me. It's
Okay.
all about you. So go ahead.
Did you hear that joke about the skunks? Those people in North Dakota, they had skunks under their I think they might have been from Bismarck, North Dakota, and they had
Really?
skunks under their house, and they called the pest control, and they said, well, you know, a lot of people around this region because there's a lot of Norwegians around here. What they do is they throw lutefisk under the house, and then that clears out the skunks. So they cooked up a batch of lutefisk, you know, in the bathtub, you know, and like we do, we soak it in the bath, and then we go get and then about a week and a half later, this couple called the pest control again and says, and they said, well, how did the lutefisk work? I said, it worked great, but how do we get all these damn Norwegians out from under our house? So
And we
yeah,
thought it was a cat that were the culprit.
yeah,
My gosh.
yeah, yeah. Lutefisk.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'll have to remember that when I go to Minot for some lutefisk as well, too, and coming back. And of course, having a bit of cowboy's life and all that. And of course, you really do have a heart for music. And of course, speaking of that, we'll talk about you having a secondhand heart. We'll find out 1 minute with Doug Adkins. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, International Warring Author, me and Molson's the Missing. Also brought to by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, on Amazon and Hi-Tan Music. Check out our latest at hightimemusic.com. We'll be back with the multi-talented Doug Adkins of A Cowboy's Life and a Secondhand Heart after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing. This is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, either paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by Mian Mosensia.
Baby, come back.
Heidi Tan has a new release, the remake of Player's Baby Come Back.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town.
With special guest, international recording artist Nils on guitar. And now with her own twist on the classic comes Heidi Tan 2023.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
She delivers the punch you'd expect from a seasoned pro with this arrangement of Baby Come Back. Destined to be a chart topper, Heidi Tan, Baby Come Back.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Illuminatical, a human think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, has created a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes and power grids to phones and laptops. This power source is entirely renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL today. The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases Him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back to the multi-talented, accomplished singer, songwriter, born and raised in Montana, Doug Adkins, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And a lot of songs about Montana, North Dakota, and traveling through cowboys' life and everything like that. And I forgot that I think you were a whiskey salesman at one point.
Yes, the biggest hit I ever had was the song called "Whiskey Salesman," and it happened way back in 2005, and it permeated, went across all of Europe and the United States, and my shows really went up for that. And I'm happy about that. So I'm thankful for the song. And you know, you get lucky in life once in a while, and I got lucky on that song. And I don't know why that song hit people like it did, but I sure wish I could figure it out and write another one.
I think everybody wants to be a whiskey salesman, to tell you the truth. Maybe Scotch, maybe like bourbon, or it could be like, say, with Miller, Jack Daniels, or anything like that. Or even vodka if you're in Russia. So,
Well, the concept about that song, really quick, I don't want to bore your listeners, but I was touring through Colorado, out of Colorado at the time, and we played a club, and as part of the contract, we got 2% of the bar. And these were the days when you'd play 5 nights a week and 4 or 5 sets a night. And so this particular night, we had about, I don't know, it was a slow night. I think we had some snow out there, and I think the bar sales were about $200.
oh,
So
wow.
our percent was about $14. So I thought at the end of the song I sing, I am because we get 2% of the bar. I ain't raise your drink and toast one more because we get 2% of the bar.
How do you like that?
So I had to put that in that song. And yeah, so that's the Whiskey Salesman song.
Oh, how do you like that? I'm right for some Jack afterwards too. Will tell the comfort. So, and of course, you have in a secondhand heart. That's your most recent, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, Secondhand Heart came out quite a few years earlier, but I never released it. And I'm thinking about a segue into my next CD that's coming out in February of 2025, which I haven't written one song yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to. And so I thought I need a song to kind of segue from what I'm doing now, going into the release of the new CD. And since I'd never released Secondhand Heart, I thought it would be great. And it's just a nice story about a guy who's standing at the bar, and he says, he sees somebody and says, look, I understand that I get that you're probably hurting from your last relationship, and I don't need you to fall in love with me. I'm just here for dancing. But if you ever change your mind, you can call me, because I'd be happy that. But so that's kind of the storyline of that song. And they're both, you know, they're both a little more mature, so it's not a young kid's romance thing. But he says, look, I just want to dance with you, and I can see that your heart's been broke. And she says, I could never love another. And he has her dance, and he says, I get that. But if you ever change your mind, give me a call.
I like that concept. That is really interesting. Better on social media, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
and where can we find all your music at, Doug?
Well, of course, dougadkins.com. That's ADKINS, because and also all streaming services, of course. Amazon, Spotify, whatever, Tidal, whatever people use. It's all out there. YouTube especially. And yeah, so hopefully everywhere, and hopefully maybe even on the wonderful stations in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Well, so, there's about 4 or 5 of them that are willing to, have you listen as well, too. We'll talk more about off the air with the amazing multi-talented Doug Adkins of A Cowboy's Life, Secondhand Heart, Waltzacrossmontana, Whiskey Salesman, more here on the Mike Wagner Show, and just a few more things besides having a soon-to-be release coming on CD. What else can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond, especially going in 2025?
I don't know. Mike, I have to write these songs. I got to write about 16 songs in the next month and a half. And then we're going to sit down with the boys in Nashville, and we're going to choose 12 of them. And hopefully I write some songs that the people like. And then if that happens, then they'll invite me to play shows for them. And then I get to do what I love to do, which is sing songs for people that love country music. So that's what I really love to do. I love to be on stage. I love to plug in my guitar and let my guitar and my voice do the work. And the more I love people, everyday working people. Mm-hmm. And I love to perform for them and tell them stories about the songs I write and about my life. And so what you can expect from me in the future is probably more of the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we're certainly looking forward to that as well, too. And Doug, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest, musically, artistically?
It can be anything.
Well, my father would be my biggest influence. Jack Adkins is a solid, strong guy. So that's number one. Artistically speaking, I would probably go back to kind of a mix between Merle Haggard. Can we mix Merle Haggard and Neil Diamond together? Is that allowed?
Why not? I mean, if you mix like Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, or let's say mix Willie Nelson with Julio Iglesias, anything's possible in music. We encourage it.
Well, I'm such a fan of people that phrase the word. They can phrase well. And Merle Haggard and Neil Diamond, probably to me, also along with Bob Seger, probably phrase better than anybody, I think, that I've heard. And so the phrasing, because the phrasing, you can have the right words, you can have the right guitar licks, you can have everything, but if the phrasing isn't there, it doesn't grab the people, And
right,
so
and I think that makes
those guys.
Right, and I think that makes perfect sense. Loveless and Merle Haggard, Neil Diamond, and all that. I mean, I hate to say it's kind of like a lost art, but that's a really good point to make, though. And most importantly, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Anybody at this point, don't chase the trends. Just do what you do and keep doing it. And if you can sell 100 CDs to your audience this year, next year, go back to your audience with a new CD. Don't change the format. Do what you do, and build your product. And maybe next year you can sell 500. The next CD, maybe you sell 1,000. Take a long-term approach. In 10 years, maybe you can sell 1,000 or 2,000 or 2,500 CDs per CD that you bring out. And maybe by that time you've built a network of 30 clubs that you can play every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make sort of a living out of that.
That is rather interesting, and we encourage everybody to do that and wants to get into music as well. With amazing multi-talent Doug Adkins of A Cowboys Life, Secondhandheart, and more here on the Mike Wagner Show, especially about Bismarck, North Dakota. Doug, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase or check out your music? Again,
dougadkins.com and on everywhere, just DOUGADKINS, and I should show up first. If I don't show up first, then I have to talk with my social media manager. Follow me, by the way.
Right, exactly. There you go. That's the person you go to. Once again, Doug, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Thank you, Mike.
No problem. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We love having you back. Wish you all best. Make sure you come back to Bismarck. And Doug, we're looking forward to having you soon, and you've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mo Sinzia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing, this is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he can rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by me and Mosinzia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, neither paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by me and Mosinzia.
Baby, come back.
Heidi Tan has a new release, the remake of Player's Baby Come Back.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town.
The special guest, international recording artist Nils on guitar. And now with her own twist on the classic comes Heidi Tan 2023.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
She delivers the punch you'd expect from a seasoned pro with this arrangement of Baby Come Back. Destined to be a chart topper, Heidi Tan, Baby Come Back.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Illuminatical, a human think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, has created a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes and power grids to phones and laptops. This power source is entirely renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL today. The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases Him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.